One thing that most people don't know about this election year is that in 3 states, marriage equality is on the ballot. In Washington State, Maine, and in Maryland, marriage equality has passed the, I'm sorry. In Washington State, marriage equality has passed the state legislature and the governor signed it. In Maryland, the state legislature passed it and the governor signed it. Now in Maine, in 2008 they passed it and the governor signed it. But then the people had a vote and they decided and they voted to not have gay marriage. But now it's on the ballot again, and it will almost for sure pass this time. So those are 3 states that, pending the election this year, which in those 3 states, it's almost surely going to pass. Looking at the polls, it's almost certain. Because those are Democratic states, and it's become more popular even within the last year. Now, I have a map here. Probably can't see it. Of the states with marriage equality. Now, the ones in pink are the states that have already passed it. There you see New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Iowa. The ones in purple, Washington State, Maine, and Maryland, are the ones that will pass it this year. California is in brown, as you see, because it is pending the Supreme Court as to whether or not they will even take the case for Prop 8. Now, if the Supreme Court rejects the Prop 8 case that has been brought against California, if the Supreme Court rejects the case, then California will have marriage equality because the lower court ruled marriage equality unconstitutional. Now, if the Supreme Court refuses to accept the case and rule on it for themselves, that means that they are agreeing with the lower court, which will mean Prop 8 unconstitutional. Now, if they take the case, that will mean there's some doubt. And if they take it, I think it's likely that they would say, yes, the way they did it is unconstitutional, and therefore Prop 8 has been invalidated, and you either have to take it back to the ballot again, or you just void what happened with Prop 8, and California has gay marriage. Now, by the way, I wouldn't be scared if the Supreme Court said you have to take it back to the ballot, because California rejected gay marriage in 2008. That was 4 years ago. So much has changed in the political arena, especially on the issue of marriage equality, that California would probably overwhelmingly pass it this year, or next year if they had to do it. So, probably 4 more states this year will have marriage equality. So that will bring us to a total of 10 states that have marriage equality. Now that's a big milestone, because that will mean that 1/5 of all the states have, 10 out of the 50 states will have gay marriage. That'll be a big milestone. Now, I have plotted a thing of states that I think are likely to pass gay marriage either by the vote or by the legislature or by their state Supreme Court's ruling on the matter. I think Rhode Island will surely pass it because the rest of New England has, and it will just follow in the course. I think Delaware will pass it. The governor there is very passionate on gay marriage, and he says that they will likely get it done in 2013 in the state legislature cycle. New Jersey will have it, I think, within the next 5 years. Now, here's a reason I hate Chris Christie, the governor of New Jersey. The state legislature in New Jersey passed gay marriage pretty easily. Christie vetoed it. Chris Christie is the only reason New Jersey does not have gay marriage. So, yeah. Now again, if you put it to the ballot in New Jersey, it'd most likely pass. So I think that pretty soon he won't be able to do it anymore, and they'll pass it. Now, by the way, I think that Chris Christie will probably not be reelected as governor in 2013. Especially if Cory Booker runs against him, which I suspect he is going to. Now, next, we have Oregon. I think Oregon will likely pass it. Oregon's a pretty liberal state. I'm kind of surprised that Oregon hasn't tried to do it yet, but I think they probably will soon. Hawaii, I think, is a very overwhelmingly Democratic state. I think they'll probably have gay marriage soon. Either the Hawaii Supreme Court will say, enough with this, that's the law of the state, or the state legislature will probably pass it. By the way, I don't understand why in the hell Hawaii legislature hasn't passed it yet. There's 25 members of the Hawaii State Senate. 24 of them are Democrats. What the hell are you doing? Pass gay marriage. You have 24 out of 25 votes. Do it already. And in the lower house of the Hawaii State Legislature, Democrats control 43 of the 51 seats. What are you doing? Pass it quickly. Do it now. And you have a governor who probably supports it. So, do it. The final state that I think will pass marriage equality soon is Illinois. You've had some movement there in the state legislature to try to do it. I think that one's the one that's probably the furthest away because it's a somewhat rural state. But there's strong support for it in Chicago. Mayor Rahm Emanuel has said that he wants to push for this. The governor there is supportive of it. You have one of the senators there who is who is very liberal, who will probably be pushing for it. So I think that'll happen within the next 5 years. Other states I think would possibly do it relatively soon. Minnesota, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, maybe Nevada, New Mexico, possibly Colorado. I don't know, maybe Colorado. I'll throw a maybe on there for that one. But I'll just say that those 6 states right now, Oregon, Illinois, Hawaii, New Jersey, Rhode Island, and Delaware, will probably pass gay marriage within the next few years. 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Now that will bring the number of states with marriage equality up to 16. And then by that point you're probably, with how fast the popularity of marriage equality is accelerating, you'd probably get to a point where you could make a national effort at it, I think. So, again, there's the issue of marriage equality. 6 states currently have it. After the election, at least 9, if not 10 states, because I'm assuming the Supreme Court has a different schedule cycle than the election does. But by the beginning of 2013, probably 10 states will have marriage equality, and others will be making an effort in the next year. So, good news on, this is one of the issues where the popularity is accelerating amazingly fast. In 2004, it was a wedge issue the other way. This year, Obama's getting support from being in favor of it. It's a winning issue now at this point in many, many states. It's impossible to be against gay marriage in a state like Vermont or Massachusetts or New York and get elected to statewide office. So this is one of the issues where I am very optimistic, and it's one of the few issues in politics right now that actually makes me happy and optimistic about where the country's going.